In today's video, we're going to be focusing on this parabolic phase of the cycle for Bitcoin. That's one of the 5 phases, but within this parabolic phase of the cycle, we also have some really key sub-phases. This goes to show that 2021 as well as 2016 have certain sub-phases within those, and we're very familiar with the 5 phases of the Bitcoin halving cycle, from pre-halving rally to pre-halving retrace, reaccumulation, and post-halving parabolic phase of the cycle. We'll be focusing on the sub-phases in this parabolic phase of the cycle specifically. So let's dive into the video. Let's dive in and talk about this. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like this video if you enjoy content like this going forward, and let's dive right into it. So just going to this first chart, we have been talking about these 5 phases in the Bitcoin halving cycle. Pre-halving rally, where we'd top prior to the halving, pre-halving retrace, where we'd see a 20% pullback. We saw actually 33% in this cycle, which was quite interesting, deeper than usual. Then we had the third phase, which is the reaccumulation phase in the cycle, and then we have the post-halving parabolic upside phase as well. And this post-halving parabolic upside phase has a few phases within them, and we can look to the previous cycles to better understand those phases. So just from the outset, 385 days is how long this phase can last. That's at least what 2020 and 2021 suggest to us. 2016 suggests it can be 360 days. So giving us a year or so here, but we can talk about how long this phase could be, and in fact we've talked about this in previous videos, that this could be maybe even a shorter phase of around 300 days or so. But generally speaking, 300 days is what we can roughly expect. And within this parabolic phase of the cycle, we see a price discovery uptrend first. So this is the price discovery uptrend that's currently in progress actually, and I'm not saying we're going to rally to 200k because we do see diminishing returns, but something to this effect is likely, whereby we see a multi-week price discovery uptrend take place for a few weeks. And in 2016 this was also the case, though you can see here that breaking out from the reaccumulation phase, we pulled back to retest it before trend continuation. So this blue circle here just is a little bit of a caveat that this is generally one price discovery uptrend wave, but we had to have that confirmation there, whereas here we actually didn't need to see any pulling back. But that's a small digression. This price discovery uptrend phase is essentially here, and even 2016 showcases to us that price discovery uptrends don't last forever. We do then see a multi-week price discovery correction occur, and 2021 is also a testament to that. So in the future, we will see a price discovery correction. That just is the nature of the beast, but that's going to enable a price discovery uptrend going forward. So that's going to be the second price discovery uptrend. And in 2016, you can see how exponential this can be, and it takes a long time. These phases do take multiple weeks to play out, and that goes for both price discovery uptrends and price discovery corrections. They can last quite a few weeks, but then the price discovery uptrend ends, and then that second price discovery correction occurs. And 2016 saw quite a deep one right over here. And this is an idea that I'm still working on because it's still in the progress. I'll be sharing more and more specifics over the coming weeks, so subscribe to the channel, and especially feel free to sign up to the Rekt Capital newsletter by clicking in the link in the description down below, because this is where we work on these ideas and flesh them out until they're solid and ready to be shared on Twitter. So this is kind of a window into my creative process. But this was the second price discovery correction in this overall parabolic phase of the cycle in 2021. So after this price discovery correction, we saw another third and final price discovery uptrend with a little bit of dipping in the meantime. So in fact, you could say that maybe we had 4 price discovery uptrends and 3 price discovery corrections within this parabolic phase of the cycle over a period of just over a year, 385 days. So here, on the other hand, we had 1 price discovery uptrend, the second, third and fourth one, and then we have 3 price discovery corrections. So just going back on that, and that's pretty phenomenal to say how in this parabolic phase of the cycle we have 4 price discovery uptrends and 3 price discovery corrections. And here we also have 4 price discovery uptrends and 4 price discovery corrections, with this being a dip that's a bit of a flash crash really here. So it's a small caveat that we need to keep in mind. And so price discovery is in progress. It's only the very beginning. It's only the beginning of price discovery wave number 1. We're going to have a price discovery correction in the future. It's going to be a high probability dollar cost averaging moment for Bitcoin as well as altcoins before we embark on that second price discovery uptrend, which will be a few more weeks after the price discovery correction, and then we'll see another multi-week price discovery correction. So generally, it's a very good roadmap to think about, whereby we see the first uptrend, the first correction, the second uptrend, the second correction, the third uptrend, and if we get a third correction, that's going to be quite a risky one, because we tend to see that these third price discovery corrections, just notice how very little and how short they last. They're really flash crashes almost. So in latter parts of the cycle, these corrections are brief and they're very volatile and they can be quite deep, but they quickly resolve themselves. And we then transition into a parabolic rally that's really strong. So that third opportunity here, that's going to be later on in the cycle at some point. And so it's going to be a quick correction, it's going to be a deep one, it's going to be a volatile one, and then we're going to quickly transition into the final phase of the cycle, that final price discovery uptrend. And that's going to fool a lot of people into then wanting to dollar cost average into the next correction. But if we have a fourth, there is no fourth price discovery correction. You can see that this occurs outside of the parabolic phase of the cycle, simply because this is now then the beginning of a year-long bear market. So really important that if you do want to be dollar cost averaging into the market, and I'm probably going to be doing this as well, the first price discovery correction is a high probability event. And the second one, that's also a pretty high probability, probably medium probability event, because there is a little bit more risk associated compared to the first correction. The second correction does tend to occur. We tend to see 3 price discovery corrections. So that second correction is still on the higher end of probability, but we have to understand that there's just a little bit more risk involved. And that third and final price discovery correction, really, that's a place I won't be dollar cost averaging into. You can, of course, and it has been a profitable play, but the risk just isn't there really, because let's see, if you're, for example, if this is price discovery correction and then you accumulate there, then you can ride all this amount. If you don't even dollar cost average here or here, and you've just dollar cost averaged on that first price discovery correction, then you can see all that tremendous upside. Whereas if you just dollar cost average here, then you have a little bit less upside, but still decent on your positions. And then here, that reward is lesser and lesser, and the risk is just growing and growing, especially right over here. Buying here, there's lesser reward involved. But if you're wrong, then you can go into a bear market for a year and experience quite a bit of headache. So really important to just understand that with each price discovery uptrend, you have to be careful about the ensuing price discovery correction, which is a little bit riskier and less rewarding with each passing correction. And so we're only just beginning this price discovery uptrend here. There will be a price discovery correction in the future. It will last a few weeks' time. And if we focus on how long this could last, it could last, for example, 2021, 1, 2, 3, some 3 weeks or so, and 2016. If we think about it, it's also a multi-week price discovery downtrend, but 1, 2, 3. So interestingly enough, we have 3 weeks in each of these price discovery corrections. So could we see another 3 to maybe 4 week price discovery correction in the future? So if this is still a multi-week uptrend and it gets us into deep December, then at which point do we see that 3 week correction in the future? Is it going to be late December? Is it going to be January, in fact? Because over here you can see how long this price discovery uptrend can last. And of course, we do get dips in the meantime, but these dips are just great opportunities before additional price appreciation towards the upside. So these are very small, brief moments of dipping before price appreciation. So they're very different to the price discovery corrections. In fact, we're currently seeing a dip right now, but that doesn't mean that this is actually a correction that's going to see us drop 20 to 30%. We're still not there yet. We have a lot of upside yet to enjoy. This dip will probably be very soon over before we carry on in the price discovery uptrend, before we then finally transition into price discovery correction number one. But still, we have all of this left, if you think about it. In fact, we're only in week 2, so this is 1, 2. We still have all of this left potentially ahead. So being in week 2, we still have so much left in this parabolic phase of the cycle. So don't get shaken out by any means, and do wait for the price discovery correction, which is weeks away. That'll be a fantastic opportunity. But for the time being, feel free to just enjoy this price discovery uptrend and not worry as much for any dips that happen, because these dips are very brief and they will proceed further upside. So feel free to click in the link in the description down below to sign up to the Rekt Capital newsletter for me to share this updated analysis with you on a regular basis. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and like this video if you enjoy content like this going forward. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.